Oh, Steve and Larson! Don't you dare be sour. Clap for yourselves and feel the power. Yes. And all you people out there, you're watching Going In Raw with Steve and Larson.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. Available at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Usually taped live at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steven Larson. And available wherever podcasts can be found. Larson, the 1,137th episode of Smackdown is in the books. Roman started it. Roman ended it. I was some in Roman. Some parts are kind of but quickly, what are your thoughts on what you saw on SmackDown tonight?
I was thinking about SmackDown. I had some well-formulated thoughts, but then you informed me of something that happened on Dynamite. While I was getting stuff set up, and now I can't think SmackDown. I can only think of what you told me. So please tell the good people out there what you told me, please.
Absolutely. I was so enthralled by what happened, I wrote this down too. It was great. Tony Schiavone came out and he asked Mark Henry, "You gonna wrestle?" And he said, "I've got plenty more in the tank." And I was excited to see it.
Heck yeah, Mark Henry's great. Heck yes.
Absolutely. But then guess what happened afterwards?
What?
Vicky Guerrero comes out, says excuse me a couple of times, and she says she's got a third-generation superstar ready to go out here. She wants to introduce him. And Andrade Almas comes out there with a money green suit, a La Sombra necklace, beautiful glasses. The suit he opened it up on the inside. It said El Idolo right there, looking like $1 million. So excited to see him. The place popped. That was great to see fans there to actually see no way, it can't be him. Oh, it's him. So good to see that. So good to see him out there doing what he wants to do. Such a good man. People, if you haven't seen it, go check that out.
Yeah, I still haven't actually seen it. I saw a couple stills, a couple GIFs on Twitters. You're right. He looked like $1 million. He looked like a star, a massive star. And
he looked so happy.
Yes, and hopefully being in AEW now is a pathway for him to become the star he probably always should have been in WWE.
Absolutely.
Of course, we know he's got that match against Kenny for the AAA Mega Championship coming up at Mania. I believe that's August 14th, about 2 months' time. I don't know if he's taking that belt off him then or not. I don't know what stories they have planned at AEW. I was all kind of thinking maybe he would hold off on signing with the company until, he got some dream matches he might want out of the way. They already put up the Andrade is All Elite graphic on Twitter, so it's official. He is All Elite. I couldn't be more excited. Andrade's great. He's fantastic. He's going to be a huge get for AEW. Massive star. Put all the belts on him.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was a fan of him. I knew him. I didn't know any of his work in Mexico or anything like that. Knew him originally in NXT. Loved him in NXT. The matches with him and Gargano, I think, Aleister Black, McIntyre. Beautiful matches. Kind of lost his way a bit there on the main roster, but we've repeated that saying many times, sadly. But earlier in the week there were some releases and everyone was down about that, but this is the other side of the coin here. When you see somebody get an opportunity to reintroduce themselves the way that they probably feel like they should have, and another opportunity. So when you see names like Ruby Riott or Braun Strowman or Aleister Black, you can be sad for them at the moment, but on the other side, there is always that opportunity for them to pop up somewhere else to actually do what they want to do best, which is to wrestle and entertain the crowd. So I look forward to 88 days or someone, whatever that is, to see somebody going somewhere and having a big smile on their face in the crowd. So happy to see them, man. So best of luck to everyone released this week. And you just see what can happen when you not the end of the world, man. So best of luck to Andrade. Absolutely.
Well said. Getting back to SmackDown, I guess that's
why we're here.
Yeah, I mean, when the more Roman you have on an episode of SmackDown, the more kind of family drama you have between Roman and the Usos. It makes for compelling television. Jey Uso in particular is just knocking it out of the park each and every week.
Oh,
just being this totally, like week after week, just Roman's chipping at him. He's chipping at him. He's a completely fractured, broken human at this point.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to do.
Tugged in different directions as well too. That is, what was that that you would always say, that in internal conflict or the crisis of confidence. That is what Jey, that's what's happening to him right now. You can see it even at the end. I know we're jumping all the way to the end, but that's usually what we do before we do the review here, is that you could just see it when Jimmy came out. It's like, come on, Uso, let's go, and he was conflicted. Roman just gets right in his face, and then he just continues just pound on Dom, and that horribly vicious looking power bomb right at the end there, and you just see he's just like, I don't know what to do here. And it looked genuine. And when it looks that way, I dove right into it. There were some pieces, like you said, that were Raw-esque.
Yeah.
But Roman is hitting it out. The Usos, that part, hitting it out of the park, man. I loved it.
Totally. Yeah, the bit at the end you mentioned there, when Roman steps up to Jey when he's about to leave the ring and join Jimmy down the floor. And Roman gets right in his face. And what does Jey do?
Yeah, just looks right down. He's like, "Oh man!"
Put his head down. He's upset the head of the table. There's a great bit backstage we'll get to more later, where Roman, I'm sure quite purposely, called Jey Jimmy.
Yeah,
he knows how to push Jey's buttons,
and that's usually what family can do. You have a brother. I have a brother. There's nobody that knows how to push your buttons like family, because they know what irks you. They know what gets you riled up. And when they choose to, or sometimes even when they don't choose to, or they can't help themselves, that is what you see. And it seems so genuine.
Yes.
And I'm so here for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's really compelling TV. Also coming out of this, it seems like we might know Roman's next opponent, perhaps even as soon as Hell in the Cell. It could very well be Rey Mysterio.
Right.
So I think at one point Steve and I mentioned Rey as a possible opponent for Roman, because you think about that pretty solid feud that Rey had with Brock Lesnar a few years back that involved Dom, when we saw Dom bumping all over the place.
Yeah.
Get tossed around by Brock. It was really fun stuff. If they could do something along those lines with Roman, that could be fun. For have that be a feud for perhaps Hell in a Cell and maybe even Money in the Bank, and then Roman can move on to Brock or John Cena or whoever for SummerSlam. Be really solid stuff. You get the family dynamic on both sides going there. It could make for some interesting stuff.
Could you even see possibly a Hell in the Cell match with Jey or Jimmy and Roman versus Dom and Rey? Or would you think the internal family conflict of Jey versus Jimmy in the cage is more likely?
What could be interesting is Roman, the Usos failed twice to get the tag titles. Roman kept on saying, "You're embarrassing the family. You're embarrassing the family. The whole family is watching you." What if Roman says, "All right, Jey, you get your shot at the tag titles at Hell in a Cell. You could try for them again. Right. I'm your partner."
Oh man,
just really drive that wedge between the Usos,
Dude,
especially after Jimmy had the temerity to stand up to Roman tonight at the end to tell him to stop choking out Dom.
Yeah. Kept on saying not like this, not like this.
Mm-hmm.
You could all say, okay, how then? How do you want it? Do you want it in Hell in the Cell? We can make that happen. Like, dude, just out of ether, we made another story beat happen right out there, man. See, poof. Look at that. Poof, there it is. Poof, there it is.
Poof, there it is. All right, we can just dive into this unless you got any more thoughts about kind of like macro view of SmackDown.
No, I was I found that it was enjoyable enough with the pieces I liked. Some things were forgettable. We'll get to those as we get to it, but let's start off right at the beginning there.
Sure. So Roman Reigns comes out to start the show. He says he believes in being direct with how I'm feeling. Last Friday by the end of the night, I wasn't happy. But with the counsel from a wise man, a full week to chew on it, I've changed my position on this tag title shot the Usos have tonight. I really do sound like Boss Hoss. He goes on to say he's the centerpiece of SmackDown, but he's a giver. He allowed this match to happen. Let's be clear, though, Jimmy, you said last week that you're going to win. You better win. He says, let's not waste any more time. I got things to do. He tells Heyman, bring out my cousins. I love this when Heyman has to go over the timekeeper area. Usos, play the Usos music.
Usos music now.
Oh, so good. So good.
That was great.
So the Usos come out. Jay gives Roman a hug. Roman says to Jimmy, it's your turn now. It's your turn to acknowledge me. And Jimmy's like, I thought I did at Hell in a Cell when you choked me out. I thought I did then. But anyways, tonight's not about that. It's about us getting those tag titles to make the whole family proud. 7-time champs are coming soon. Roman says, I wish you luck. He says, Jimmy, you called your shot. You got to go get it. But then, like I do, I call my shot. I do it. I get the job done. So if you say you're going to win, make sure you win. Remember, our whole family is watching. Get the job done and bring the titles. Bring me the titles when it's over.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Bring me the titles. Once again, another thing that could lead into it. You couldn't bring me the titles. I'm going to bring the titles here with Jay.
Totally.
Yeah,
and then we get the Usos versus Rey and Dom. Enforcer, how did you feel about this match?
I know I'm not here very often. I'm just the fill-in guy, but I am kind of over the happy-go-lucky Rey Mysterio and Dom Mysterio when they came out. So I was happy to see they looked extra focused, extra into this match as they came out. The only thing I didn't like was you could see the beginning of Roman walking up the ramp as Dom and Rey were there holding up the belts.
Yeah.
If only they would have lingered on that, and then he just walked between the two of them with Paul holding up the Universal title. That would have been that little bit extra, and if they just would have held on to that picture at the end of the ramp with Roman walking by, because they had it there for about a second, and then they went to the long view, and then you only saw Roman real quick kind of look back at them as they walked by. That would have been a good moment.
That would have been good. That would be good.
Yeah.
And, sorry to correct you, Enforcer. You're far more than just a fill-in, man. You're the third man, brother.
I'm just listen here, man. There's two people here. If it was the normal show, there would be another Steve, not here, but over there, and the show would be cranking away. And it probably also, you would probably be annoyed, but there'd be a Mothman rolling by here or some new rumor shit or whatever it may be. So I know you're missing all of that, and I apologize that I can't bring that for you, man. I'm sorry.
Well, nothing's perfect. But,
except Mr. Perfect. Yeah.
I'll take a nice mellow evening of good conversation, some hearty chuckles, without having to hear new rumor.
If people only understood the hoops that we had to jump through to get this going tonight.
Yes,
I don't know how much happy-go-lucky would actually be happening here, Larson.
Yeah. So for those of you who tuned in to our failed attempt to stream this show on Twitch, I was running into some computer issues, couldn't get it to work, so we're just going to record it, put up on VOD, obviously. So my apologies. to the 200
also,
plus friendos who tuned
yes.
in, and we sorry couldn't make it happen.
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to those 200 friendos so that were there live there. They understood. We appreciate you guys there. We had to call in audible here. We appreciate you guys tuning in. The Friday Friendo faithful, thank you so much for being there, man. Sorry we couldn't be there live, but some technical difficulties. Hopefully the VOD is good enough for you guys.
I hope so. I hope it's good. Yeah. So this match is pretty decent back and forth. Actually, that's not true. Rey was isolated for basically 90% of this match.
Most of this match, yeah. There were a lot of headlocks going on to Rey. Whenever Dom would get in, the action would slow down. I think I told you about, like, between these two matches. Yes, by the way, they had to fight again. There was probably about 6 or 7 headlocks to extend the time out there, and it got a little frustrating because I wasn't really feeling that match the first time, and then the fact that they had to have it a second time. As I told you before, I really didn't take much notes on the second one other than when Roman came out. I took basically about a page of notes for that. But yeah, essentially, Dom and Jimmy start this match, and then the Mysterios start strong, basically going. There was some quick tags going back and forth. A lot of blind not tags, but blind tags with Jimmy and Jay trying to isolate Rey Mysterio early on. So the Usos got the advantage early on. Later on, Rey does some stuff to get the advantage. Some more blind tags. Usos retake that advantage, grounding and pounding Rey, but then Rey does that slide thing that he did leading into commercial that basically led to him sliding onto, I forget if it was Jay or Jimmy.
Shoulders. It was
Jay's shoulder, right on there, and then basically Samoa dropped him right onto the commentary table. That looked amazing. It looked like Michael Cole and Pat McAfee were not expecting that at all. You saw Pat jump and go, whoa, and then they go to commercial. And I was kind of shocked. I was like, "Whoa! I've never seen the slide go right onto his shoulder, right onto the commentary table." That was a great spot. Absolutely,
that was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, and then so when you get back, the Usos have been beating up Rey right through the break. Rey hits a drop toe hold to buy some time. There's no tag yet, but then the Usos do a crash and burn. Then you get the hot tag to Dom. Dom dives in from the corner to the outside, hitting both of the Usos in a spot there. And then Dom hits a neck breaker, then a DDT, like a floating DDT from the corner onto, it looked like one of them took it right on the head, right on the crown of the head, right there. It looks stiff, but then you get a 2 count from that. You get a double team Samoan drop, which looked fantastic, but only got you a 2 count. And then Dom eats a super kick. Uso goes up, hits with a splash, but then Dom gets the knees up, and then a very awkward roll into a 3 count that basically the referee was in proper position, but somehow just decided to not care that he rose the far shoulder away, even though you could see basically even in, and they emphasize replay after replay that his shoulders were up. They showed the replay on the screen. Usos get upset. You cut to Roman backstage and he tells Paul, "Bring them to me." And that just seems scary.
Yeah,
he said, "Bring them to me, man." Yeah.
Livid. Roman was livid,
upset as all get out, man.
That's how I feel after I get crashed into too much when I'm playing GTA.
Just over it, man.
So we go to commercial. We come back. Usos are in there. Jimmy is going on. We got cheated. My shoulder was up, and Roman yells. He very rarely yells.
Yeah.
He just says, "I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it." That was great, man.
You lost to a child. And worst of all, you called your shot and you didn't win. You embarrassed us. The only thing that's lucky about you tonight is that there's time left on the show. You better go talk to Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville to correct this mistake. It gets fixed tonight before they go. He wants them to understand his position. He says, I know you're 6-time champs, but you've only been in WrestleMania once. He puts himself, he puts everything over he's done since he's come back in less than a year, Universal Champion, all that. And then
main eventer, all that.
Yeah, he turns to Jay and says, you understand that, Jimmy? And Jay just goes, I'm Jay. And Roman just kind of smirks, says, well, the way things are going, doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah, right? Burn, dude.
Ooh.
That was terrible. And it's a great callback to the beginning of all of this stuff when Jay would always say, to Roman, you're the big dog, everyone looks to you, but then when they look to me, they're like, which one are you? Mm-hmm. And basically Roman just did that right to his face and called him the wrong Uso, and you could tell that just stung.
Yep.
That just stung because he had been trying ever since Jimmy was gone to be his own man, stand there to be Jay. And as soon as his brother gets back, he gets disrespected by the head of the table, calling him the wrong name.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was
subtle, but perfectly done, though, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was great stuff. Great stuff. We were supposed to have a Seth Rollins interview next. However, Seth did not like Kayla's line of questioning and just takes the microphone off and then just kind of like throws the lavalier mic at her, smiles. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those ones where like he slowly took it off and then looked like he was going to hand it to her, and then she had her hand out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, and then he just throws it like, ha, 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 ha.
Great suit from Seth, though, tonight. Great suit.
Great suit, yeah. I think Kirsten in chat said, like, looks like her grandma's drapes.
Yeah, I can see that.
It did have that, but he had that beautiful pink or salmon tie that really pulled that train wreck of a suit together, man.
It was great. It looked great.
Yeah.
It looked great. After that, we had Street Profits there backstage. Chad Gable walks up to him, talks about how they're trending downward. He says, I've been analyzing your matches. It's obvious profits are down. Meanwhile, he says, look what I've accomplished advising Otis. He says, profits need professional management from an Olympian, and asks, are they ready to unleash their inner alpha? He gets a hard no from the Street Profits.
Hard no, yes. Yes, I think Gable said that he wants the smoke.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, man, hard no.
Hard no.
And then they laughed and then walk away, and he just basically just looks
pouty.
Just looks like sad, pouty. And then Carmella comes out in a beautiful outfit. That fire red looked amazing. But then the match that we got afterward left much to be desired.
It was an interesting match. So before the match began, we got this is structured all kind of funky. So we got Carmella doing her entrance. She has a promo where I guess her new thing is that she's the most beautiful woman in WWE.
Yeah. And she's fire, evidently. Too.
Yeah. And then before the match begins, before Liv Morgan comes out, we go backstage. The Usos storm into Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville's office.
Right.
They're making their case. At first, Pearce is like, nah, rest decision's final. Sonya Deville's like, we'll take it under advisement. You'll get a decision tonight.
Yeah.
We go back to the ring. Liv Morgan comes out for the match. She has a picture-in-picture promo, too.
Yeah.
Talking about how she thinks it's cute. Mella thinks she's so beautiful. Liv thinks Carmella's a 7, but said she can make her a 10 by putting her boot to Carmella's face. I feel like that group of stuff was just as long, if not longer, than the actual match.
Yes. I think if you take the Carmella's entrance before the break, you take out the backstage with Sonya and Adam checking that tape, and then the Liv Morgan coming out, that would be longer. I think it was 2 minutes and 40 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, by what Twitter said. They actually condensed it into a 2 minute. Somebody went ahead, took quick clips, like sliced little things out of it to get into that Twitter 220.
Yeah.
But basically said this match was 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And yeah, I could completely believe it. I mean, I'll do this. This is going to be one of the quickest things here. Carmella slaps Liv Morgan, runs away. Liv catches up to her, throws her into the barricade. Early on, Liv has the advantage. And then she hits her head into the apron. But then Mella gets a boot to the face. She gets a few Judas effects in the corner on her. Mm-hmm. You get a snapmare for a 2 count. Mella a couple times was saying, "Who do you think you are?" Liv does this beautiful thing where she grabs her arms, steps down with the boots, hits her, and then launches her into the corner.
Yeah, that was good.
And then as I was writing that, all of a sudden Mella had her in the cone of silence, and it was over.
Yeah, I think Liv was going for her finish where she kind of rebounds off the ropes to like a flatliner.
Okay.
She whiffed on that, and then Carmella locked on code of silence, and Liv tapped quickly.
Liv pretty quick. If they were thinking that they were gonna right off the bat, once they got rid of Ruby Riott and did something with Liv, no. I mean, I sadly made the joke to a friend at work when these releases happened. Mm-hmm. They said, hey, they got rid of Ruby, but then Liv is still there. It's like, well, they need somebody to eat the pins for Carmella. And sure enough, a couple days later, this shit happened.
Yeah, so, Enforcer is Nostradamus over here.
Usually the passing phrases or thoughts are the ones that actually happen. So yeah, it was sad. But one thing I did find funny though, after this, the Mysterios are looking quick to dip. They're looking. They got their bags. They're like, hey man, we won this match. We're done. We're over it. We're gonna head to the rental car. We're gonna get ourselves a steak or something for dinner. And then so Sonya and Adam say hold up. There was a problem here. You're gonna have to fight again. And then they seem to have no pushback. No, it's like, okay, well I guess we got to fight again. And then they just mosey on back to the locker room.
It's kind of.
I mean,
all right.
I mean, you're the champs. You've got the belts. Why are you just going to sit there and be chumped out and go, wait a minute? Like, have some backbone and say, well, hold on, we're the champs. We won this match. We've had there's been precedent to go that the referee's decision is final. Mm-hmm. Show me where you're going to make us fight in the same night again. And then as they're looking, I just continue to walk to my rental car.
See, because the thing is, the WWE rule book is a sketch pad. So...
Wait, you mean my notepad is eventually the same as the rule book?
So Adam Pearce or Sonya Deville could have been, while this conversation's happened, been.
See, right here.
Rematch. Yes.
Rematch, yes.
And wrote that
only
down.
On the 1137th episode of SmackDown will this be able to happen. All others null and void. See right here.
There you go.
Right here.
It's in the rule book. It's been here since time immemorial. So I just saw this on my dresser next to me. So if you do somehow win Dominion predictions, I got something to throw in the box for you as well.
Oh, look at that! Look at that. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. I could have two. Look at that. That looked beautiful. And it had the sleeve and everything. That's what you need. You need to have the sleeve on that thing, too. Look at that. Oh, it looks beautiful.
Oh, it's rewound, too.
Oh, man. I just pop it right in. Now I just got to find a VCR, and I'm all set. I'm sure I could head to the Goodwill or flea market or whatever.
Probably pick one up for $10.
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully it doesn't eat my tape.
That's the danger. You could have this.
All right.
This great $2 VHS tape of Forrest Gump and have it just be utterly devoured.
How dare you? At least $2.50.
You might be able to find one with the same swap meet for $1.50. I don't know how many of these sold.
Oh man, like 1 billion, because it's the greatest movie of a generation.
Agree to disagree. Some people, I know it's really popular.
Man, I'm swimming upstream whenever I bring up Gump, man. I'm just like, Gump is great, and you guys are just pouring cold water on me as I swim by. Like, F you. Oh, man.
I don't know if I've seen it since, 1993 when it came out. I don't remember.
Oh, how
the theaters.
See, watch along here, man. Got to do a watch along.
Maybe.
No. Hold on, no. We can't make a list here. We gotta watch RoboCop first. We're gonna watch anything.
First.
Listen, man. We have to have an enjoyable experience. We can't watch shit movies all the time now.
Did you just call Forrest Gump a shit movie?
No, I said like Master and Commander and these other things, crap movies, man. It's like make an enjoyable experience if we're watching along.
Agreed.
No, that's the greatest movie of a generation. Someone's generation.
So
all right, we were here with Belair coming out.
Yeah, Bianca Belair comes out and she talks about ever since she won the title, Bayley's been laughing at her. She talks about how people have been doubting her, teasing her her whole life, but never has anyone laughed in her face. And she says that's utter disrespect, that she's not going to stand for it. So she challenges Bayley to a match at Hell in a Cell and promises Bayley that she won't be laughing. Then you hear her laughing being piped into the arena, but you don't know where Bayley's at. It's her laughter. You don't know where she's at. And then she's on the Tron. Her hair is like, she looks like she basically stuck her finger in an electrical socket because it's so they're definitely going the thing where as she's kind of losing her mind, the hair is a physical representation of that, which is great. It's a nice little subtle detail.
It is nice. So yeah, I'm digging that. And
Bayley,
then she was in her happy place via satellite there, man.
Yeah, she was in her oasis, which is just covered in pictures of herself. So
yeah, she's her just holding belts, holding all this. It looked great.
All the high moments in her career. So she's on the Tron, and she tells Bianca, the world doesn't revolve around you. She mentions that she's in her oasis. This is where she finds peace. She accepts Bianca's challenge, and she says after she beats Bianca, I'll be laughing, but I won't be the only one. Then she starts laughing, and then all the Thunderdome screens, they go to the close-up of Bayley laughing.
Yeah, and then they did a nice thing with the audio too, where they sort of echoed the audio every time, because it wasn't like all of the video screens all popped up at once. That's with her laughing. They sort of staggered it, and then they staggered the laughter as well. That was a nice little ode there too. Then backstage, once again, a lot of backstage here going on here. Otis is back there, walking about. Millen, I think he walked in front of the Street Profits once.
He did. He's like pacing back and forth.
Yeah, and then he swung back around, and then Otis is like, "You need to apologize to Gable for what you did." And said, "Dude, we don't owe you or anyone one." And then Otis goes, "What have you done since you joined the academy?" And then Dawkins says, "You need to get your money back." And then Otis hits the Street Profits, hits him down back there. He seems upset because of what happened to Gable.
Yeah.
And leaves him laying. And then, of course, everyone's favorite happens before the commercial. King Corbin walks his self out there. Then we go to commercial.
This is the most raw feud on SmackDown. It's the same thing every week.
It feels that way. As much as I love Boogs and Shinsuke, the and what Shinsuke's doing on Twitter with the crown and all that's fun. He got vaccinated wearing the crown. I thought that was great. He's having a lot of fun with these visiting water tanks, or those things he likes to have. He's visiting those with his crown on. But yeah, Corbin comes out, and then he's mad at the recaps that they play while that's going on. So there was a recap from 2 weeks ago, and then there was a recap from last week. And as soon as it comes back, he's like, "Oh man, I don't like that." That was just horrible. And then Boogs comes out, starts shredding. That was great. And then Shinsuke was working over Corbin for a while. Nakamura gets an armbar. Corbin escapes to the ropes. And then let's see. And then Corbin wins in some weird fluky thing where it was like a deep. Was it a roll up that he got him with? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like extremely deep in it. Yeah, and it looked awkward. I'm not going to say what I thought. And then Corbin goes to grab this crown, and then he's like, "It's my crown. I get crown." And then while that's happening, Boogs grabs his leg.
Yeah.
He's like, "Let me go. And then Shinsuke Kinshasas him right there, grabs the crown back off, and then Boogs plays them off as they go up the ramp. And it just seemed like we'll get a recap from 3 weeks ago. That was from 2 weeks ago. That was what we saw this week. Next week, and then Corbin will get mad again.
Yeah. and then at some point they'll have a match for the actual crown. I would imagine that's got to be. I mean, the end game of this has to be because Nakamura, yes, he's getting the crown and making Baron look foolish, but Nakamura is taking losses in this.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, yes, some aspects of this are maybe entertaining. It's copy and paste week after week. Nakamura is losing a lot of these matches. So at the end of the day, I don't really care. If the end game is Nakamura beats Corbin for the crown, fine. I feel like that should have happened this week and you move on from it. But if they just keep on going over and over the same matches that are 2 minutes long where Baron gets a sneaky win, but Nakamura gets the crown back for him, by the time they have the blow-off match, I'm not going to care.
You're not going to care, and you're getting to that point almost. Yes. One thing that could honestly work with this is if somehow they announce, they do a King of the Ring again, and by hook or by crook, Corbin's in the final against Shinsuke, and Shinsuke gets that win, and he actually legitimately gets that crown, but actually have a good match in the finals for it. No Boogs, no Corbin getting a sneaky roll-up win, and actual, if you're going to win, eat a Kinshasa, or if you're going to have Corbin keep it an end of days, hit that thing, not a damn roll-up here. It is easy money to basically place money on how will a Corbin match end. I'll bet hard on a roll-up.
Yep.
That's how he wins or loses a match now, and I'm getting kind of sick of it. Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of funny for a stretch where Corbin's obvious Achilles heel was being rolled up.
Yeah.
When he was Mr. Money in the Bank, he was losing all the time by a roll-up, and that was actually pretty funny. I guess maybe in a sense they're doing some storytelling now where it's like, oh, I lose to roll-up. I can roll up to win. And does
But I would actually, I'd actually like for him to address, somebody bring it up to him. Dude, you lose all your matches by a roll up here, man. How can we smarten you up to be on the lookout for it? It just seems like we just know by sadly watching every damn week that Corbin loses by a roll up, but yet there's no real payoff into roping that into a story.
I know.
Which kind of would help instead of just arguing over a crown.
Yeah, I know. I know. So after that, we have Kevin Owens. He's walking backstage, taping up his wrists before his match with Apollo Crews. He's attacked by Commander Azeez. So Commander Azeez is about to hit the nail, and Jamie Noble, Pat Buck, some refs come in and break it up. And this bit was great. So Apollo Crews just walks into frame, kind of turns and looks, laughs, and then walks out.
Yeah. And then Azeez, as they're holding him back, salutes him.
Oh,
he's back there. He saluted him, and everyone's
good.
Stay back. And Apollo's like, hey, great job.
That's so good. Apollo Crews is doing a hell of a job with this character.
And for me, this one here, there weren't many matches, but this was match of the night right
here. It was really good.
This one absolutely was
really good. So you get the image. So Apollo Crews, go to commercial, come back. Crews is in the ring already. You don't know if the match is actually going to happen. Kevin Owens comes out limping, holding his ribs. The only thing he was missing was the rib tape, selling the ribs to the full extent.
It was under the shirt.
Yeah, it could have been. Apollo was going after the ribs. German suplexes, kicks to the gut, all that. So Owens would try for a comeback here and there. Like early on, he tries for a comeback, looks for a pop-up powerbomb. His ribs kind of give out. Crews escapes. Owens, though, low bridges Crews out of the ring. I like this. It's something you don't see very often. So Owens is running the ropes, bounces off. Of course, your ribs hit across the middle of the ropes.
Your ribs are hitting across,
and he just collapses. I thought that was fantastic.
He sold the pain of running those ropes across his ribs. Never saw that before. I've never seen somebody sell ribs to the point where they run off of the ropes and then they're like, oh, that was great. That's one of the things where it's like, him selling it the way that he was selling it really had me more invested into this match. And especially him trying to do that pop up power bomb, couldn't get it done because his core was messed up. Couldn't get a deep breath. A lot of action there. And the other thing, I know that let's see, we go to commercial after there was a suplex of something ringside out to the floor. We go to commercial once again. Owens is selling that, and then we come back from commercial, and Apollo was in control. And then until KO hits a beautiful release German suplex on him, man. Just looked phenomenal there. Gives him a little bit of time. We start working up to the turnbuckle where Apollo is trying to get off a superplex up there, but KO hits a headbutt on him. Apollo falls down. We get a swanton, but knees up, and then we get a step up enziguri. Apollo hits a suplex, get his 2 count. Apollo then tries a frog splash, but rolls out, and then KO gets a super kick going. KO hits a pop-up power bomb, but Apollo kicks out at 2. KO goes to the top rope. Apollo then, I guess at that point, he was trying to do a frog splash. Apollo gets onto the apron. Death Valley driver to the apron. Rolls him back in there to the middle of the ring, nowhere near the rope. Gets a 1, 2, 3. Retains. And like I said right here, best match so far of the night, man. That was great. If this feud continues on, I don't know how they would do it, but they could probably do it because Azeez had interference beforehand.
Exactly.
You could run this thing back, and I'd be happy with it. Absolutely.
2 weeks in a row. That this is a situation where something's happened 2 weeks in a row. But here's the thing: Owens and Cruz are talented enough, and probably invested enough to bring something new to the table each time. Like last week, it was great. It was basically a Kevin Owens squash match that ended because Azeez got involved. It was great. So now it's kind of the tables are a bit turned, where Azeez has laid out Owens in advance of this. So it's like, okay, early on, Apollo Crews working those ribs over, but he just can't keep Kevin Owens down. And but then after the match, Sami Zayn comes in, hits Kevin Owens with a haluva kick. So I'm guessing if we get another Owens Crews match, it's just going to further facilitate this pivot away from that feud back to Owens and Zayn, and maybe maybe they'll bring Big E back into the Intercontinental title picture now that his would-be opponent for the next couple months, Aleister Black, is no longer with the company. So
he's nowhere to be there.
So
nowhere to be found. But one thing I did want to talk about when Sammy ran out, I loved how opportunistic he was with Azeez came out there afterwards at the top of the apron. Then you see this blur just run down from the stage all the way down to the ring, and then he hits him with that hula kick, and then he's just running him down. He said, "Oh, you're already hurt, and somebody comes out and kicks you. That's what you did to me." He says, "I didn't kick you. Karma kicked you."
Yeah.
And I thought that was great the whole time. Once again, he said, "I didn't kick you. Karma did. And then afterwards, we go backstage again. Street Profits look upset about what happened because they'd recovered from their beatdown from Otis, and they're basically analyzing the night so far. And they said Otis should have stayed away. With all this heavy machinery and all this, Otis, we're going to send you to the dump if you keep on getting in our business. And then we get a rinse and repeat, except for the end of the tag match championship with Dom. It was and Rey.
Yeah, except with the first match, it was Rey getting isolated, and this one is Dom getting isolated.
This one it was Dom going. Yeah, so they basically switched that out. Yeah,
but otherwise, it's not that dissimilar. Rey gets the hot tag towards the end. He goes on a run, and that's when let me see what I got here. Rey is about to do something. He hits the 619. He tags in Dom. Dom goes at the top rope slowly, and that's when Roman comes in.
And then that's when he Superman punches him. Yeah,
Dom off the top rope.
Yep. And then after that, Roman looks over to I think Jay in the corner and says, twice you had a chance to get this done. You couldn't get it done. And then right there just gives Dom Oh no, Rey, just a nasty spear in the middle of the ring there. And then Roman is just yelling at these. Once again, he's normally calm, collected. When he gets up, starts yelling at people, you really feel it, because that's normally he's head of the table, calm, cool, collected. Twice already he was yelling at fools. And he throws Rey out of the ring. And then he throws Rey out of the ring after that spear. Then he runs Dom's head into the steps as that happens, and then Roman then grabs Rey and flings him into the barrier, goes to the other side where Dom is, does the same over to him, and then he grabs the steel steps and he hits Dom with it, then he hits Rey with it, continues to talk trash. Time throws Rey into the void, into the screen. He's back over there, and then Dom gets some eats some hands from Roman, throws Dom into the ring. Roman again grounding and pounding him, and let me see, Roman then as he's pounding him, then Jimmy's like, okay man, that's enough, not like this. Jay is about to leave, but then Roman steps up to him. And then as this is going on, you see the little blurb in the corner, the little bug saying we're done. And then he goes back over to Dom, continues to ground on him, gives him a massive power bomb right in the middle of the ring, gets back up, stares back at Jay, and then that's it. We're done with SmackDown. So strong and vicious, the beat down to Rey, flinging him like trash off over there, destroying Dom, making an example of how he was able to destroy these two while these guys took 2 matches and still could not get it done. A lot of places you can go with. You could have a Rey and Roman match. You could have, like we were saying, a tag match with Jimmy and Roman against Dom and Rey. There's a lot of different places you can go.
Totally.
And and it just seems week after week I'm wondering, when am I going to stop caring about Roman? And I have yet to find that spot yet.
Same. They keep on adding wrinkles. They keep on finding new avenues to explore the dynamics between 3 interesting characters who are, especially in the case of Roman and Jay, really well developed. Not to say Jimmy isn't. I just think Jimmy is 3 weeks into the storyline.
Yeah, exactly. So he's just going to get fleshed out.
Give it a few more weeks for that all to get fleshed out more. And when they're firing on all cylinders with the story, it's going to be some really riveting stuff. I'm really looking forward to see where it goes.
Absolutely. Especially you got Hell in the Cell coming around. Could we get what I actually want to see? Either Jay or Jimmy get Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And then standing right there next to him, family, the head of the table, but you got the golden ticket in there.
I know. I think Jay would be great.
Dude, could you imagine that, man?
Yeah.
Do they got the balls enough to pull that trigger?
I know.
Man, that would be amazing, man.
I hope
that would be amazing.
Great. You want to answer? You want to answer a few questions in force?
Yeah, absolutely. What we had to do was we, of course, had the Patreon page where $1 can get you access to this page over at Patreon. Every show, Steve will try to remember to put a Q&A thread up. This time I did have to remind him bright and early, so hopefully we got a lot of questions.
We got a few questions over here. We got enough.
Yeah, we got
some.
Yeah. We got 10 here, and also think Twitter also. I don't know if we had any questions there.
I didn't notice anything per se. But I'll keep looking.
Okay, so we'll start with the first one here. Anthony R says, "Did you guys see the trailer for the new China doc that's coming out on Vice? Did not hear about that. Vice does wonderful things. Would love to see it. I'll make sure to check that out for sure. You got you know anything more about this?
I saw the announcement. I didn't get a chance to watch the trailer today, but yeah, I'll definitely be watching it. For sure. For sure. Eddie Brock's Venom. Do you think we will see Brock Lesnar versus Parker Boudreaux match before Brock hangs him up? Depends how long. It kind of, it's all, the ball's in Brock's court if he is going to stick around long enough for Parker to make his way to the main roster, and if he even wants to, get in the ring with him. But I mean, like Parker looks like 85% the exact same as Brock Lesnar, so it'd be pretty fascinating to be Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, this is the honestly first time I've heard of this Parker Boudreaux guy. I'm guessing he's like a if you're saying he's like Brock, is he a amateur wrestler?
I think he was
something like
a
that?
collegiate football player.
Ah, okay.
And he's like 6'4", 300 pounds. He's got the buzz cut. I mean, he looks a lot like Brock Lesnar. Like similar body type, he looks a lot like him.
When he gets worked up, does he turn purple?
I haven't seen him get worked up before.
Okay, so there's a possibility.
Given
right
the
there.
similarities, I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
There you go. There you go. Jay Singh says, could the or a cruiserweight title ever work as an intergender title in WWE or elsewhere? I want to see more intergender wrestling, and while most of the women on the roster couldn't realistically fight male heavyweights due to safety concerns more than anything, says Jay Singh. But you could have some really great matches between the women on the roster and a lot of the smaller guys on the roster. Of course, it's unlikely that either big promotion would go for this. I do like the ledge that Impact or TNA at that time went with Tessa Blanchard against Sami Callihan. That kind of all blew up in their face, but I would like to see, especially a cruiserweight title, that would actually, or like an X division where you could have intergender matches happen. Absolutely. On the indie scenes, that happens all the time.
It does. Jacqueline, former cruiserweight champion.
There you go. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It has happened. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't. Yeah, WWE is probably a pretty hard no on that.
Yeah.
But you never know. Like NXT, they'll occasionally, have some intergender matches. So you never know. You never know. If the storyline is right, you never know. You never know.
I don't know what happened. What if they're ever going to go back to the mixed match challenge? But I always found that as a fun show to do, and I would have liked to seen. You don't have to do every match and have this be a beat in every match, but I would like to see one where the woman tags out, the man comes in, and then the one that's sitting there that didn't tag out says, "No, come on, let's go."
Mm-hmm.
Just for a few moves, a few beats, and then finally the ref goes, "No, get out of here. We got to get this one in here." But you could absolutely get a few moves in there. I mean, I know we had that joke one where Becky Lynch fought Ellsworth. And it was mainly like a ground moves and stuff. There was no big impact stuff, but I mean, the way that they work, I could absolutely see that. And like I said, man, you could watch any PWG show, find that happen. Your local wrestling venues could absolutely do that stuff. AEW, I could see that. Impact for sure. They're very, very loose with it. I could see Jordan Grace fighting in the X division. Absolutely. If not, I think she did. And then that she beat Rohit, but then they made it null and void, so she had to give it back for something like that. But they sort of played with that for a while. So honestly, your best bet for that is Impact or MLW for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, Impact 100%. Alex Foster says, with rumors of New Japan Pro Wrestling WWE happening, what New Japan stars would be better utilized in WWE over New Japan? That's a pretty short list, I feel like. That was a very short list.
With rumors, huh? Okay, what New Japan star would best utilize? Oh, man, I don't know. I would, as sad as it is to say, and once again, this is just the Enforcer's opinion, probably the best case scenario would be anyone that is is fluent in English, probably has a leg up to do better in WWE than New Japan, because it seems like, as much as we love Shinsuke because of the way he's charismatic, but it just seems like that puts a lot of stuff on hold for in terms of a massive push. I mean, if he was like an AJ, which basically him and AJ I see as on par.
Yeah.
He could have a career like AJ on the main roster.
Yeah.
If he could cut an full-on English promo. Absolutely. Like and sound like fluent in it. And it's sad to see because you could put a mouthpiece on any one of these.
I'm going to say that Vince would think, oh, Bullet Club's still really popular. I'm going to push all of Bullet Club. And so you have Evil with all the belts.
Okay.
Dick Togo, Cruiserweight champ.
Dick Togo. But you see, like, one of those things, like, he'd probably see Jay White and says, oh, let me get this guy. Looks like Seth Rollins. I could use, yeah.
He's like, Bullet Club used to sell a bunch of shirts. We'll sell a bunch of shirts, too.
Exactly. Yeah, you can see as much as Bullet Club. Okay, once again, I'm not watching much of New Japan, but that's sort of on the downward swing here. Yeah, he would think, oh, AJ was in Bullet Club, Finn was in Bullet Club. Yeah. This Omega guy that I can't stand, he was there. Yeah, all Bullet Club all the time.
All Bullet Club all the time. Push all of them.
Yeah, push all of them.
Kenny T is Roman already a lock for Superstar of the Year. Every story he's in is money, and he himself has just been on another level. I wouldn't mind him holding the title for like 3 years. Yes, Roman is a shoo-in for basically, unless, there's still 6 months of the year left. Someone could come in and just absolutely go on a huge run at the end of the year, but it's looking likely Roman is going to be Superstar of the Year. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because, I agree with you. Take Roman out of the equation. Who is Superstar of the Year other than Roman right now?
If we're talking WWE, I'd probably say Bob Lashley.
Okay.
If it's wrestling as a whole, I guess it's Kenny Omega.
Okay.
How about yourself?
I would say if we're just talking about WWE, are we counting NXT as well?
Sure, we can count NXT.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Okay.
I like his stuff other than the way he looks, but I like his matches.
Yeah, he puts on good matches.
All right. Okay. Bronson Reed probably too. Like when his stuff afterwards, after he won the North American belt.
Yeah.
Kind of hit me in the feels there. That
was good. That was really good.
That was good. Yeah. If it's in all of wrestling, it probably is Kenny. Yeah. As much as Dark Dang Lucha hates to hear that, it probably is Kenny.
I don't mean to laugh at your Kyle O'Reilly thing because I think he is a phenomenal in-ring talent. Just whatever they got going with his packaging, his character right now.
Yeah. Right.
Isn't vibing.
It's not. It looks like he's like shopping. He's using all of his hot cash from Hot Topic, and he's buying everything that he can at a discount.
Oh,
that's what it looks like.
It's just not vibing right now.
It's hard there.
But yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. He's phenomenal in the ring. His matches are always tons of fun.
That or Walter. How about Walter?
Oh, Walter. Yes, Walter's a treasure. Should win every award every year. Bodie says, given the somewhat lackluster Big E solo run so far, do you see creative trying something new with his character, continuing a push, or is he bound to be reunited with the New Day come draft season? I actually thought it was going pretty well. I don't know what they had planned, if they had anything planned for the Alistair feud. I thought they were taking their time with them.
Yeah.
They were slowly giving him a serious side. I know Steve's are always pushed for more separation between him and the New Day. I don't necessarily think that's necessary.
Yeah.
Because I think you can book Big E as a solo star who has, obviously more serious aspects to his personality, while not getting rid of what why fans popped for him in the first place.
Care about him,
his personality, and his association and being part of the New Day. You don't want to take that away completely. At least I didn't feel like you add layers. No. You don't say reset. This is like a brand new person now that he's out of this faction. You just add layers.
Of course, yeah. It's like an onion, but in reverse. How you peel away the layers, you're adding layers to them. Like over time, then that's when you peel them back away to sort of get at it, much like with Jay talking about, which one are you, and then you circle back to it and you realize when he says just a simple line, when he calls him the wrong Uso, how he takes it to heart.
Yeah.
You could do a lot of that stuff, and I started to see that with Big E when he would come out all happy, all whatever, but when it was time to cut a promo or he felt he got done dirty, that intense, that 5 Big E Langston back in NXT would come out.
Yep.
And I loved what was going on with him and Apollo. And then, it made sense. What I thought was he was going to go up to fight there with like Roman eventually, or an Alistair or something like that. But it just seems like he's in a limbo where I feel, unfortunately, creative's going to go, hey, just put him back with New Day till we figure something out. And I worry that they're never going to circle back around to it, man.
That's my concern, too.
Yeah.
Darius Johnson, if WWE 2K22 had a stacking pin mechanic, it's safe to say you guys would automatically buy it, right? We definitely consider it, because that'd be tons of fun to have matches where you have to win by stacking your opponents.
Oh yeah, dude, that would be great. Like if the three of us could do that, and the only way you could win was when you stack the other two on, and then like there would be 2 like circles around there, like and if one of us hits it, we all kick out.
That'd be great.
That would be amazing.
Rawgate Mutant versus Mecha Santa versus Top Notch. Smash him, stack him, pin him match.
Smash him, stack him, pin him. But Darius, I will say this: I don't buy video games all that often anymore. I used to be a video game whore. Okay, I would buy game after game after game. Day one, early access,
pre-order,
do all of that shit. Pre-order. I was the jabroni that would give you money to make sure that I had the game, even though you had 1 million copies the first day. There was pointless to do that, okay? But now I wait for a game to go half off. I'm looking for a flash sale. I'm looking for a Steam sale. Normally, this game I would get at $30 on Black Friday, and guess what? I will probably wait till Black Friday to buy the game for $30.
Eddie Brock's Venom has a question related to AEW as well. Said AEW bought WCW and owns it. Does it mean that if WWE really wanted, they could actually stop AEW from using WCW match types or pay-per-view names like Bash at the Beach? So they could stop them from using pay-per-view names if WWE owns the trademark to it. Now, if WWE has not trademarked that name, it is up for grabs. As far as match types, no, because I don't think you can trademark or copyright a match type.
Right. So are you saying that? Well, hold on. Is it because NXT decided to use War Games and it was a WCW property because they use it? AEW couldn't use it because they've trademarked that match type, or they've showed precedent for having.
They trademarked the name War Games. Because Blood and Guts was basically a War Games match. There's a couple subtle differences, but it was 90% of the way there. But AEW couldn't call it War Games because WWE has trademarked War Games.
Right. Much like I forget what is it, the Impact back in the day, their Hell in the Cell was like 6 Sides of Steel or something like that. Yeah, it basically have the same thing. So yeah, I mean, it's much like the generic brands of something or other. It's like you know the gist of what they're trying to get at, but legally, it's like our Superb Owl watch along party.
Yeah,
you knew what we were getting at. We weren't looking at a Superb Owl, but you got the gist, and legally we could use that because what we were watching, we couldn't legally say unless we wanted to give the NFL some money, so we didn't want to do that.
It's like the brand name thing. Like there's various different brands of facial tissue. We all call them Kleenex.
I'll call them Kleenex.
Xerox. Only one company. Yes, Xerox, same way. There's tons of photocopiers. Only one Xerox. And here's the thing. only one company can call their Kleenex, and that is Kleenex.
That's right. Everyone else calls them facial tissues.
Puffs cannot call them Kleenex. They have to call them Puffs.
Yep. Q-tips. Other than that,
yes.
Cotton swabs.
Yep, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
That's what it is, yeah.
And that's just all trademarks.
That's just how it is, man. Yep.
David Matushek, what's the remote possibility of seeing Roman Reigns versus Jimmy Uso in a Family Feud scenario? Are we talking a match? Or are we talking actually being on Family Feud?
Good answer. Yeah. Oh, man, yeah. Like, who... See, once again, that would be. Could you imagine, like he gets a thing and it's like, hey, I got this invitation for Family Feud, and like, and then they'd actually do it where they got Steve Harvey and all this,
yeah.
And like Jay has Jimmy's name thing because Roman handed it out to him, and
my
it's
God.
the other way, and then there's Paul there just looking at Roman the whole time, like on the other end of the table, yeah.
That'd be great. Tell some wrestling stories on a game show. That'd be amazing. As far as a match, yeah, it's totally possible. It's totally possible.
Oh, absolutely.
The way Jimmy is reacting to Roman is 100% possible.
I mean, that's kind of what we want. Either a tag team Hell in the Cell match, or a Jay or Jimmy versus Roman in there, or a Money in the Bank where one of the two wins it, and then Roman standing there. You could stretch this thing out for. There's once again layers. There's layers to this thing.
Yep.
That you can go in any different direction that would make sense. That's when wrestling's at its best, when the stories make sense and you've got options to go elsewhere, not making it stale.
Totally. Last question here from Brett Harrington. Should Roman win the tag titles by himself to show Jimmy and Jay how to do it? Entirely possible.
Could you imagine? And then he stacks them. He stacks the two of them, and then he's standing there with all three belts.
Belt collector, head of the table.
Belt collector, absolutely, man. Amazing. That would be so good. I'd actually like to see Roman go on a one-man power trip, where, like, let's say a face has the Intercontinental belt. And then you know how they tease that thing where Apollo was learning at this thing, and then you sort of rope Apollo back into this thing.
Yeah.
And then Roman goes, here, I'm going to show you how this done. And then he beats the IC title holder at the time, like KO or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's just out there. And like every single, like Paul Heyman's holding his Universal, or like, Roman has the Universal, Heyman's holding the IC, and then the tag belts are being held by the Usos.
That's good.
But yet he's just standing there and it's like, all of these are mine.
That'd be great. The Usos forced them to hold the tag titles.
Forced to hold the titles for their cousin who won it by himself.
That'd be great.
God, man, we're just making storylines up here, man. We're making, dude, it's like we're making SmackDown more and better. And Raw, what are we doing with it? We're putting it in on a Tuesday recap.
Sometimes that's the way things go.
That's how the cookie crumbles, I guess.
When life gives you lemons, you gotta make lemonades or something like that. So
you got it, man.
So that's what we're trying to do, have some Tuesday lemonade. Well, Enforcer, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, absolutely,
I appreciate
man.
your
Not a problem, man.
When the tech stuff wasn't going right.
Not a problem at all, dude. I'm happy to fill in, happy to help, happy to just talk wrestling with you, man. It's always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure for me as well. So thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, Enforcer, again. I can't thank you enough. And we'll see you all later. Have a good one.
Bye.
Help support Going In Raw today by becoming a Friendo Club TV member. You'll get access to new bonus episodes every week, including Friendo Club Arcade, Live Power Rank, Vintage 10 for the Wins, and Ask Steven Larson. Get access to Friendo Club TV today by becoming a $5 and up patron at patreon.com/Steven Larson, by throwing us a sub at twitch.tv/Steven Larson, or by clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson.